Talk is going to be regarding audiobooks. And we have picked out some that we have listened to and that we want to share with you. We do have a pretty good audiobook selection, and so I'll just start with the first one here that I listened to. This is a Debbie McComber, The Inn at Rose Harbor, and this book is about a lady, and her husband is killed in the war, and she goes and she takes over this inn, and it needs a lot of work and a lot of renovation, and there's a little bit of a romance there with somebody, and then it also highlights two different guests that she is able to help with their lives and some different situations in their lives. So very, very good listen.
Okay, my first one is Saving Megan by DJ Palmer, who I found out is also Daniel Palmer, so that was kind of interesting. This is my favorite book I think I've read in 2020. This book, Megan, is a child who has had an illness where she feels pain constantly. Doctors can't figure it out. She's had all kinds of tests. She's seen all kinds of specialists. And so as Megan gets to reach 15, her mom takes her in and she rushes her to the emergency room because she's in severe pain. And the doctors in the hospital don't let mom go back to the emergency room. And it ends up that they take Megan from her, and the mom is accused of Munchausen syndrome, that she's making Megan sick by her suggestions. And so this book is about her fight to get Megan back and to prove that this illness is real. Very well written, great book.
And the next one I have is The Bridge by Kingsberry. She is one of my favorite authors. This one in particular was one of my favorite books by her. This is about a bookstore and about a couple that are kind of brought together, and the bookstore is a big part of them being together. So very good book, and there is a sequel to this, but it's definitely worth checking out.
My next one is Intervention by Carrie Blackstock. Carrie Blackstock is one of the authors I really enjoy. This particular book is great for this time. I think a lot of people have addictions, and in this story her daughter has an addiction, and she takes her to the rehab clinic, or sends her to a rehab clinic to help her overcome this addiction. And when she's on her way, the person who is with her is killed and her daughter is gone, and then of course the daughter is accused of the murder, and mom sets out to prove that there's no way that her daughter had committed this crime. Now, another one of her series that I really enjoyed was this If I Run. And a similar kind of an idea. The woman all of her DNA is found at a crime scene. The police are looking for her. She's on the run. But while she's on the run, she's also trying to prove that she did not do the crime. And of course, there's a little love interest in there. A former vet who has PTSD is also convinced that she did not do the crime. And so he sets out to help her, even though he doesn't know where she is. He's working on his own fronts trying to prove that she's innocent.
Okay, my next one is Summer Rental by Mary Kay Andrews. This was an author that just happened to pick up one of the books one time, really like her. This particular book is about three ladies. They're all college, school friends, and each one of them has something very, very traumatic going on in their lives, but the others do not know about it. And they decide to get together for a weekend, and it's during this weekend that all of these different issues come out. There's also a mystery thrown in there with someone, and so it's very good. It takes place on the beach. It's, of course, a beach rental house, so a lot of things going on in there, a lot of twists and turns, but very good read.
Okay, my next one is a historical fiction series. This is Tracy Peterson. All of her books are pretty clean. In this one, the main character escapes to Alaska in order to avoid an arranged marriage that her parents have set up, and the guy that she's supposed to marry is not pleasant in any way, and so she escapes, and of course she finds a new love interest up there in Alaska. I also want to say, we often hear, both of us, that people come in and they say, oh, I don't like audiobooks, or but the audiobooks are great. I know Sherry's done them while she's painting and while she does computer work, but they're also good if you're sewing, if you're cleaning house, you're not just feeling guilty because you're sitting down with a book, and you can still escape with a story.
Yeah, very good point, because I do, on the weekends when I'm cleaning, and like I said with the other book talk we did, I got so engrossed in the story that I was listening to that I didn't realize I was painting the same area and I hadn't moved, because I just got so wrapped up in the book. It was so good. So
I actually did that with one of these Terry Blackstock books, traveling down the road, and then all of a sudden I was like, wait, where am I?
I just, I'm not a total audio person, but there are times where, if I'm doing something that I don't have to really concentrate on, but I want to hear the story, audiobooks are a great avenue for that. The last one I'm going to highlight is probably my favorite book of 2020. I am originally from Louisiana, so we received the book form of this in the mail, and honestly, I took it because of the title. Because, Louisiana, crawdads, and so the title intrigued me. I took it, and I honestly tell everybody that you need to take this book. It is excellent. It's about a girl in a very dysfunctional family, but without giving too much of the story away, because it does jump into the story pretty quick, the girl is left by herself for a long time at a young age, and there is a murder, and there is a love interest. It does not get overly romantic, but it is a very, very, I cannot say
She
it
loves this book
enough. It is a very, very, very good book. If you have not read it and you're looking for someone, to try, definitely highly recommend this one.
Okay, my last one is off the beaten path for me a little bit, but Ender's Game. And we actually did this for our book to movie club, but Ender's Game I had seen and heard the book many years ago. This one's actually a YA, but I'm going to talk about this new one in a minute. This is a story of Ender, who is taken into a facility where he is going to be trained, supposedly. The facility uses kids to try and battle some of the forces that are coming against them, and the kids, because they are so adept with video games and stuff, they use them for their skills. And I don't want to give too much of the story away either. We keep saying that, but anyway, excellent book. I'm not big into sci-fi. There are some sci-fi I've read that I really enjoyed. This is one of them. But we have this new one, which I have not listened to yet because I listened to the old one. But this new one actually is a full cast. And so each character would be read by a different person. So you have a full cast audio on this one. So something interesting there.
And then just, I personally haven't listened to any of these, but I just thought it'd be a good idea just to let you know, we don't have just fiction. We also have, this is a biography. This one is after I pulled this one, I'm like, you know what, I think I might take this one because I love the sound of music, and I saw this one over there, so this is probably not going to be available this weekend. But this is the story, and it does say that it gives a lot of insider information, a lot of behind the scenes and the filming and stuff. So we have this one, and then for our animal lovers, which I am one, this is one we have, Another Good Dog. It's a one family and 50 foster dogs. So these are just some nonfiction. So we have a little bit of nonfiction, we have a little bit of fiction, we have, I think there's some learning different languages. I think there's 4 different languages over there. So we have a little bit of a variety for the audiobook. So
Definitely.
yeah.
All right, we hope you enjoyed this segment of our book talks, and please like, comment, and share.